To your mother, it's time for another episode of Birds with Friends. Just a trio of feathery brethren weathering any season to see the Eagles eat teams like Scrammy's top with cheese. It's Philadelphia. Bo, Sheil, and Zach kicking it cooler than 3 penguins till Zach runs off with his valet keys. He's a real nuanced goose. Pull up a branch, get loose. It's time for some juice on some Birds with Friends. The early bird gets the worm, but prefers getting turned like a turn on some Birds with Friends. Bo, Sheil, and Zach coming at you with sets and things flapping their wings on.
They can be like bathing suits. What they, what.
Finish it up. Sometimes you gotta take them off.
What the hell? What they show is revealing, but what they conceal is vital, right? So.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Birds with Friends on a Thursday afternoon. Your Crow Thine Enemy, Los Angeles Chargers edition. Pro Wulf, Zach Berman, Marissa Morris, Sheil Kapadia, here to talk about the latest Eagles news, preview the Chargers game, get back to Swooper Soarcasting. Welcome to all the sickos in the chat. If you are in the chat, give us your Swooper Soarcasting suggestions. We'll pull 3 for those. And otherwise, I think everybody just wants to know how Sheil's doing.
Congratulations to BWF listener Chris and his wonderful bride, Carly. They will be getting married this weekend. They are a BWF family for the, sometimes you do the day after brunch, doing a day after tailgate. I mean, talk about sickos. Those are sickos right there. So best of luck to Chris and Carly on their wedding day and going forward and having many BWF kids in the future.
Love it. Fantastic.
Was Chris the one who was asking us for the wedding planning last week?
No, that was Kill a Cow. And since you mentioned it, I forgot I had another piece of advice. What we did is, you give the little cards to where you sit at the table, include a little personalized note for everybody.
That's a great idea.
It doesn't have to be long.
So much work.
I wish I did that.
Yeah, it can be a couple sentences. Thank you for coming. You've been a great something, yada yada, and then you move on. We did that. Yeah,
that sounds like a lot of work.
I went through this stage in my mid-20s where I was very grateful for a lot of things and expressing gratitude towards a lot of people.
You've been a good thank you note guy.
Yeah. I like a nice gratitude. I'm a gratitude guy.
You can't spell gratitude without attitude.
All right, let's move on.
All right.
People love a thank you note. Always write a thank you note.
You know what? They don't teach you some of this stuff in college. Like, I didn't know that after you interview for a job, you should send like a follow-up, email or something that, hey, it was great. Like, I wasn't doing that for probably the first 5, 6, 7 years in the workforce.
Once again, you're a senior national writer. So whatever you did, I want to bottle it up and drink it, right? You're doing well.
Coming up next on the TeePublic's Birds with Friends store, Shield Juice available to everybody. Okay. Why don't we send it over to the Stone Cold Newsman and get the latest on the happenings at the NovaCare complex as the 3-5 Eagles prepare to show down with the 4-4 Los Angeles Chargers.
Practice this afternoon without JJ Arcega-Whiteside. He was the only player absent at practice on Thursday. The players who were limited included Fletcher Cox, who has a knee injury and is also resting, Jack Driscoll, who has a thumb injury, Javon Hargrave, who has a shoulder injury, Zach McPherson has a hamstring injury, and Jalen Reagor limited with the ankle injury. The fact that Jalen Reagor progressed from DNP on Wednesday to limited on Thursday is relatively noteworthy and certainly something to monitor going in the Sunday's game against the Chargers. We don't have the injuries from the Chargers at the moment, but keep track when they finish practice today of Justin Herbert's status because he's dealing with is it a hand or a thumb? It's with his right hand. Yeah, right hand.
I think Anthony Harris sent him something and it sort of sent him down the wrong path.
So pay attention to Justin Herbert's status with the Chargers. A few minor moves. Bo's sanity can be restored because, well, I shouldn't say restored. I don't know if it was ever lost, but can be saved.
Or if it was ever there.
That's what I was going to say.
Because Brett Toth cleared waivers and is back on the practice squad. The Eagles cut Craig James from the practice squad, but had Brett Toth been claimed elsewhere, Bo would have written a story about the roster mismanagement
I'm
that he did.
still going to write about the Kerry Vincent trade.
He his
Hopefully
best,
you alerted the higher ups that we got that coming. Social teams.
Well, I'm going to bury it in the cheat sheet since no one reads that
I
anyway,
was-
so it'll really go well.
I was gonna say the best the best Bo story about a story is last year him texting, I think I want to write about Casey Toohill, right? This was before week 1, right? He does a full story on how frustrated he was, or not, or I shouldn't say frustrated, how
It wasn't after week 1.
nonsensical. No, it was before week 1.
No, it wasn't, because they released him several games into the season. That's what was part of
he
what was so
remembers
crazy
that
about
you
it.
wrote a story
Okay,
about Casey
okay.
Toohill. Sorry, he doesn't remember the exact week.
Yeah, but the
I mean,
reason it was so
unbelievable.
bad is because they kept him and then cut him
No,
when
you
nothing
can't.
changed.
No,
So
please
anyways,
stop.
So point is, Brett Toth is on the practice squad. Nobody claimed him. And that's all we have since the last show.
Well, you didn't actually. I think since the last show, Eric Wilson was whacked.
That's correct. I apologize. I should have mentioned that. Eric Wilson waived by the Eagles on Wednesday. Wilson, we kind of saw that he was falling out of favor, was a healthy scratch against the Lions, obviously signed to be a 3-down linebacker for them, played over 80% of the snaps week 1. And then the Eagles waited until after the trade deadline, waiving him. So then if someone claimed him, they would take the salary. But I can't totally rip on the Eagles for Eric Wilson because I was bullish on the signing. I thought it made sense. I'd like the
It's
move.
not your job.
Clearly did not work out for them. So
It was low stakes. Yeah, they're taking a flyer. I mean, it's funny because if this happens once in a while, then it's like, those types of things happen. It is just, I mean, every time they sign a linebacker, this is what happens. So that's, in the bigger picture, I think what sticks out to people.
I think
I'm with you. Yeah, I thought it was a fine flyer to take.
6 veteran linebackers who they've signed since Nigel Bradham in free agency. Only one of them made it through the entire season, and that was Leroy Reynolds. Good stuff. Sheil, I think the question that I would pose to you that I think listeners are curious about is innie or outie?
All I want to know is what's in Marissa's smoothie over there, because I saw her sip on that. It looked like a little bit of a green flavor.
Well, it's got some spinach to make it green,
Yeah,
but it's almond milk, a frozen banana, peanut butter, cacao nibs.
Oh yeah.
I've been putting collagen in. That was like my mom's suggestion. You don't taste it. I think it makes your hair grow.
Hello.
Really sure.
All right. We do a little test. I'll drink 2 of those a day. I'll go like this once a week on the pod, and we'll see if it works or not. Outstanding content. This is why she's the GOAT producer. You ask her what's in her smoothie, and she comes up with a great idea. So excited. All right. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything else in there?
Spinach and then spinach.
Spinach. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Sounds good.
I made it like 2 minutes before we started. I didn't really have time to eat lunch.
Outstanding.
So I will eat lunch after and then dinner.
Jeez. It's 4:00. Unbelievable.
Well, I ate breakfast really late. I was
yeah.
working late last night, so I ate breakfast late.
1 hour behind, right?
No.
No? Same time zone?
We've been over
Clearly.
this before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sheil, by the way,
Innie, I guess. I don't know. What's the it's the non, like, there's nothing special about my belly, but is that the majority? Is an innie?
Yes,
there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Like
I call my belly button the hot stepper because it's innie Kamosi.
Okay.
Sheila is from the Jalen Hurts school of answering questions, right? If you ask Jalen a question that he doesn't want to answer, he either just like responds with something that he wants to talk about, right? That has nothing to do with it. He's been asked questions this year where
he took real offense yesterday to a question about under center.
And then if he doesn't want to answer the question at all, he'll just be like, yeah, I have nothing for you, basically. So Sheil and Jalen Hurts come from the same school of answer questions.
I'm like that by the way, that's not just for the show. I mean, if you ask my family, there have been many instances where they will ask me a question and I just don't respond at all. So they call it the Sheil look or whatever, where I just sort of stare at them or move on with my life. So it's very clear. Yeah. If I don't want to answer, I don't answer.
Okay.
Right.
Do you have any thoughts on Eric Wilson, Sheil?
Do we have any thoughts on Eric Wilson? What do you think?
I don't know. It was a bad signing. I mean, another bad signing. I think it was not to bring everything back to Joe Flacco, but if you spend a little bit less on a backup quarterback, you can spend a little bit more on a worthwhile starting caliber linebacker.
But who are you signing?
Fine, yeah, it was a fine.
Who are you signing
fire.
for $4 million?
I have no issue with Eric Wilson.
I'll take a look at the list.
He was a younger player. It was a 1-year deal. He made some plays last year. You didn't sign him to a crazy deal. It didn't work out. It was low stakes. There was some upside there. If he played really well, then it's like, okay, we got to look at him for a year. And now we can think about if we want to sign him or not. If he played really well, then you get in the comp pick game. I have no, I crushed them.
I don't think it was
every
that
single
bad,
thing nowadays. I thought the Eric Wilson signing was fine.
I mean, if you were looking at like where they could have gone, it was less money. But if you just see the way the season materialized, Devondre Campbell, who is a former favorite of mine,
how's Anthony Walker doing these days, Sheil?
Fine, yeah, he's doing fine on the Browns. I think he's a part-time player. I've seen him make some plays.
PTP. I don't think that's what Dickie V meant by that. Okay. And Sheil, your thoughts on Brett Toth making it through waivers? Zach, your reaction to reading our
glad I don't have to hear you talk about it.
When you saw Coyote Awashika buried in there.
Well, first off, he wasn't buried in there. It was very much so a little behind the scenes here, okay? We can't read our stories between the time that they are edited and between the time that they go online, right? So I
would say.
I had sent mine to Bo, and then I woke up early this morning, and I go to our server, I guess we can call it, and I wanted to see what time it was time to come out, and I couldn't click to see what was in there, but I could see what the key words were, right? And I saw, like, because we have certain things tagged, and I saw Coyote Awashika tagged on there, and I knew based on my 5 predictions that he was not in any of mine. So I was very eager to go and read that, and I implore our listeners to check that out.
Sickos.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you read the predictions at all?
Yeah, I read
Yeah.
I thought we might mix them into this segment or the show a little bit. I did read them earlier today.
Okay. Mix them in. You want to mix them?
If you want to. I mean, I thought maybe, if you had one or two that you wanted to get into, we could, but I don't think we need to make it the whole show.
I said that one of my predictions was that Gardner Minshew will not start unless Jalen Hurts gets injured. And I've gone back and forth on this. Like last week, I would have said the opposite. I would have said that they do want to take a look at Gardner Minshew, not just to evaluate him, but also to evaluate the Sirianni offense with somebody else under center. But I'm like, the more I think about it, at least my headspace right now is that,
headspace, and you're not caught up on Succession?
No, not yet. We watched, we rewatched the season 2 finale last night.
All right, Kendall.
Well, I mean, I did do Kendall last
episode. Yeah, so he's in your head. Wow.
My thought right now is that they won't do that because it's, it is creating drama, and they probably don't want to create that kind of drama 1 year after everything went so crazy, and they want to preserve the possibility of Hurts being the quarterback next year. I don't know. It's just how I feel right now.
By the way, you used meta, I believe, in the post-game podcast in like a serious way. Don't do that. This new version of, the way people, we're too old.
I don't think meta is that.
I mean, come on. You're the first 30 years of your life. Did you ever hear anyone use the word meta?
Maybe.
When it wasn't metabolic.
Meta world peace. I think it was.
There you go.
That was at the end of our 20s, right?
Okay.
So I'm curious what you guys think of this one, because I was.
Well, do you agree with mine or not?
I think that if they are eliminated, like completely out of it, and the season goes in the tank, and Hurts is struggling, then I do think they would go to Minshew for the final like 2 games to see him. I don't think it ever gets to a point though where the Eagles are like 4-10, right? And so so my guess is that we don't. Well, I stayed away from that prediction because I'm not ruling that out from occurring. I do think that could occur.
What is your take? You think it would upset the locker room if they replaced Jalen Hurts with Gardner Minshew, and that would have an effect on the 2022 team? Is that what it is?
It's just that I don't think they want to like go through that.
Yeah, I didn't actually.
rigmarole.
Now that you're saying it, I didn't understand your reasoning when I read the.
That's fine. I'm not sure I understand it either.
Yeah,
I had originally predicted the opposite and even put in the headline Gardner Minshew starts.
I didn't realize that.
And then I was like, actually, I'm not so sure.
That would have had so much more.
Really putting my.
I mean, I'm sure Awashika is really reeling him in, but no, I don't think it has any effect. I mean, if he's not playing well, the thing about, I mean, I always feel like players, I think this has been a Zach take, which I agree with, is that players know when another player is not playing well. And so if Hurts is struggling and receivers aren't getting the ball, all right, well, they're not going to care if you make a switch at quarterback. I mean, I don't think Devontae Smith probably right now would mind if you made a switch at quarterback. He's seeing other, rookies take off. He's not getting those opportunities. So he's not going to care. The offensive lineman, I mean, Kelsey said it. He's in it for the locker room and the cafeteria. I thought that was a great quote I saw circulating.
That was a Bo question.
Oh, it was. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good job, Bo. But like, I don't think he's really lying that much there. I think he's doing it for the locker room, the cafeteria, and then Sundays. I'm sure he enjoys playing, but I'm sure he isn't thrilled with the rest of it. So I don't think he's going to be that upset. So offensive players can see, I think people like Jalen Hurts, but I mean, I don't know. It's not like the guy's been an 8-year starter and you're disrespecting Jalen Hurts by putting Gardner Minshew there because your offense is sucking. If anything, the only thing I would say is that, to me, if you're a player, you could say, all right, our first-time head coach is passing the buck here. He's not exactly doing a great job. He's blaming our struggles on the quarterback. But again, I don't think it's a big deal either way. Most of these guys are going to be gone next year anyway.
So I'm curious if you guys think this one hits. Jalen Hurts passes for fewer yards in the next 9 games than the past 8 games, and so he has he has one more game to throw for 1,820 yards. So he's average.
Like that one?
I like that one, or
no? Yeah, I mean, you liked how clever that was. I think that there's an extra game, but he's still not going to get as many passing games.
No, the whole point of the predictions is to try to come up with things.
You should have just done an analysis of how strongly Zach felt about his predictions. Now, I don't know if that's meta or not meta or what the hell meta is, but that is something I would have definitely clicked on immediately.
No, there are 25 quarterbacks
over Kyle Washika.
Yeah. So Hurts is averaging 227 yards per game, but he's averaging 32 pass attempts per game. I don't believe the Eagles are going to continue throwing at the volume they did for much of the first half of the year. I don't think it will obviously be as few passes as you saw against the Lions, but if he averages 25 pass attempts per game, and that might be conservative, he'll need to average 8.1 yards per attempt during the final 9 games to reach this mark. That would put him in the top 10 in the NFL. So I haven't seen enough from Jalen Hurts to think that's going to happen. So I actually think that he will fall below that mark, which means that it probably won't be a particularly good second half from a passing perspective for Jalen Hurts.
I'd be happy. I'll take the other side on that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't feel that strongly on it, but yeah, I think that, certainly I don't think they're going to be blowing teams out. There could be times when they're trailing. I don't think it's a great team. I don't think they're ever going to be a team that's in like the bottom, 5 to 8 to 10, maybe in pass rate on early downs. I don't think that's going to happen. So I think there will be opportunities to throw. Like you mentioned, it's not like he's, lit it up from a yardage standpoint. I mean, I don't have a lot of confidence that he's going to be like an efficient, explosive passer, but if you're giving me an extra game there, you run the risk of an injury. That would be my concern. So if you tell me he's going to play the rest of the games, I don't know if I have to factor that in or not. I think if he plays the rest of the games, I would be willing to put like a Pastafisios or something on that.
Okay.
If you wanted
That's
to.
what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
And then the other one I'm curious about, because this is like right in the middle, so it could go either way, is the Eagles finished in the top half in the league in defensive DVOA and the bottom half in offensive DVOA. So right now they're number 15 in offense and number 16 in defense. So basically what this is saying is, do you think both go up? Do you think one goes down, one goes up? Do you think both go down? The way I have it going is the defense goes up, the offense goes down.
I would take the other side on that one, I think.
Okay.
I know I'm like a hater of this defense, and we can talk about what what we saw on film and get to some of that later. Maybe they will be better, but they've been I'm trying to think about it. They've been very healthy on that side of the ball, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, all their defensive
Well,
starting
they lost Brendan Graham. Like that was
okay. That's
injury.
True. Good point. All right, I missed a big one there.
But he's not coming back,
and his replacement is very good, so that's why it doesn't.
But he's not coming back, so it's not like that's going to improve. Yeah.
Right. So they've been relatively healthy there. I don't know about the schedule, but I don't have a lot of confidence that. I think they'll probably be. I would guess they would be in like the 20 to 24 range in terms of defensive DVOA. So I think I would feel pretty comfortable saying that they're not going to show great improvement on that side of the ball. Could be wrong, but
I feel
that's
like
how I would go.
I would go bottom half of the league on both.
I would agree,
but not terribly.
Right.
I just think that,
around 20 or something.
Yeah.
Like you can make the argument that they only face 2 more good quarterbacks this year.
Well, DVOA factors in the strength of the opponent.
Yeah, no, I think that the defense is just gonna like feast in those games, is what I'm saying, right? And so that's gonna. So I think when you look at like the Jets, the Giants, I think, I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Yeah, they're playing some. They've played well against Garbanzo Beans quarterbacks.
Yeah,
they've struggled against good quarterbacks, and they have a lot of Garbanzo Beans.
There's only one good quarterback left, and it's this week.
So you're right. Yeah, so you're right about
that. Well, and Dak in week 18.
Week 17. Yeah,
18. Yeah,
18. Game 17. Okay. I have them finishing second in the division because I think the other 2 teams stink, but.
Is Zawashika starting in week 18?
I didn't say he was starting. I just said he's going to play in a game.
All
that takes is an activation. Or maybe the Dolphins try to sign him to get the sewer they never got. Okay, why don't we take a little break and we'll come back, talk a little Chargers preview and review of what Sheil saw from the 44-6 All-22.
Finding the motivation to work out and eat healthy has always been a struggle for me. That all changed once I found MyFitnessPal. And I know I also thought it was just for counting calories, but MyFitnessPal actually teaches about nutrition and fitness habits and helps me create new ones that stick. What's more motivating than that? MyFitnessPal, listen to this. It's not a rigid diet plan, okay? Some people think it's a rigid diet plan. No, instead you gradually learn from personalized data what works for you. And if your version of healthy looks different than mine or someone else's, that's okay. The whole point is helping you find the best path to your goals. Even better is a MyFitnessPal premium membership. I have one and I get custom tools and expert guidance to help me reach my personal health goals my way. App customization, that's very important to me. It lets you choose the right settings to help you meet your individual goals. So it's not as if you're into macro tracking or low carb or heart health, you can stick to it more easily. Premium's deeper nutritional insights helps you discover which foods fuel you best. There's so many aha moments when you use MyFitnessPal. It's the way it affects your sleep, your mood boosts, overcoming health conditions, whatever it may be. I'm curious to find out what your aha moment's going to be. And with MyFitnessPal, you're not going at it alone. You have access to guided daily workout and meal plans written by dietitians and exercise scientists, plus support from other members with shared goals and experiences. MyFitnessPal does way more than just count calories. Get the support you need to meet your health goals. Unlock all the amazing things MyFitnessPal can do, like I did. Start your premium membership today. Go to bwf.myfitnesspal.com and use code BWF to get a 1 month premium membership for free. That's bwf.myfitnesspal.com. BWF for a free 1 month premium membership. bwf.myfitnesspal.com.
Well, Zach, you're talking about fitness. Let's talk about student debt, a road trip, a new couch, a savings account, a cornerback who hasn't played a game all season. If you could save on your student loans, what would you do with that extra money? Well, let me tell you about a little company called Earnest. And you know what? It occurred to me the other day. I hadn't really thought about this. Earn in Earnest, EARN. Think about it. We're talking money here. Earnest. There we go. Earnest was voted best student loan refinancing overall by NerdWallet, which is, of course, what Sheil has in his wallet. Earnest has some of the lowest rates, flexible payments, and an in-house team ready to help. With Earnest, you could change your interest rate, get a lower monthly payment, and never pay fees, not even late fees. By refinancing, you can reduce your loan term, save money, or combine multiple loans into a simple monthly payment. And if you have questions, you can even talk to a real live human at Earnest for help, as we have discussed over the years with Earnest, who is, of course, an Osprey winning company. There's no guarantee that the human will be named Earnest, but there is a possibility. When you pay less interest, you can put that money towards your goals. With Earnest, it only takes 2 minutes to see what your new rate could be, and there's no credit impact. And right now, Earnest is offering our listeners a $100 cash bonus. Refinance your student debt at earnest.com/birds. Not available in all states. Once again, you get a $100 cash bonus when you visit earnest.com/birds to refinance your student loan. Visit earnest.com/birds for more details. Not available in all states. Terms and conditions apply. Here's the good part. Earnest student loan refinancing made by Earnest Operations LLC and MLS number 1204917. California financing law license number 605478853. All right, back on Birds with Friends. Let's get into a little Crow Thine Enemy on the Los Angeles Chargers. Why don't we start with the Chargers offense? Sheil, I know you are Chargers fan number one this season. Very bullish on them entering the year. Everybody likes Justin Herbert. Chargers are 12th in offensive DVOA, 16th in passing DVOA, 6th in rushing DVOA, which might be something of a surprise. They've done a good job avoiding sacks for the most part, top 10 on that front, good on third down, solid in the red zone, and the quarterback is vaccinated.
Oh, was that my cue?
Yes.
I had notes here somewhere. I swear I actually prepared. I'm having a little trouble. Okay, there we go. I would say that they've been a little underwhelming, to be honest. This year, my concern with them was, did they hire the right offensive coordinator in Joe Lombardi from the Saints? I felt like maybe they were going to try to do too much. You know, that's what the Saints are known for, is that they're using all these different personnel groupings, and Sean Payton's like menu has all these plays on it every week. They're a high volume offense. And I just, wondered if they would overthink it a little bit, because I don't think you need to do that with the talent at quarterback. And it feels like they have done that to a degree. I was just on Twitter, some of the film grinders this week, I think were pointing to that, saying they're running like a bit of a Drew Brees offense with Justin Herbert. I think it was Seth Galina on Twitter said they've had the highest number of quick game throws in the entire NFL, where, you've got this strong-armed quarterback who can really push the ball downfield, and they're not doing that enough. So it has been a little underwhelming. I think they're a high variance offense. I think their big issue right now is they've had 2 offensive line starters on the right side go down to injury. And as terrific Chargers beat writer and Maryland alum Daniel Popper pointed out to me before the season, this is a thin offensive line. He was saying if things go badly, it
not usual for offensive linemen.
1 or 2 injuries that really could kind of make their season crater. And, he's been right, really. If you look at their last 2 games, the offense has not looked good. And now Justin Herbert, as Zach alluded to, has this hand injury. So the line's only 1.5 in this game, which surprised me. And I think
opened at 3.5.
Okay. I think those are some of the reasons certainly why. Now, what's interesting is that the last 2 weeks, Justin Herbert, after the game, when they've asked him what's happened with the offense, he's basically alluded to, well, the defense showed us stuff that we hadn't seen on fit. Like they kind of surprised him, like the Ravens just had his head spinning. I mean, it was like classic young quarterback, has never seen this before, doesn't know what to do, panic on every play, complete disaster. The Ravens, of course, have one of the most creative blitz schemes in the entire NFL. And then last week, the Patriots were the most man-heavy team in the NFL coming in. They've been that way probably for 3 years, and they kind of sat back and played cover two, what we've discussed before, incorporated the old take the short throws, make them work for it type approach. And Justin Herbert said, that he needs to do a better job against that kind of defense. So that's where my question comes in with the Eagles. They did some different things last week. That was against Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. Are they going to stick with that, or are they going to be a predictable defense that the Chargers are able to just kind of carve up here?
Well, it's so curious. Their offensive strategy, this point has been made, but Brandon Staley so heavily abiding by, daring you to run and preventing the big play. And their offense is basically like willingly playing the way that Brandon Staley would want the opposing offense to play.
Well, you're seeing that everywhere. I mean, like the Chiefs, all the QB gurus out there. Oh, Mahomes has to he's got the throw right. I always think it's funny. Like it's I find the quarterback analysis out there by like the former players and the gurus to be like the quarterback should always make the right play on the chalkboard. Whereas we've talked about with running backs, I'm kind of like, listen, Patrick Mahomes has been a successful creative player for a long time. Maybe he needs to do some of that, but I'm kind of with you. Like you need to find ways when they're playing too deep to still produce explosive plays and still push the ball down the field. And so you're seeing a team like the Chiefs, they're having trouble doing that. Now, the Chargers are certainly not a run-heavy team. I don't know if I have the numbers in front of me. I think they're probably 5th or 6th in terms of how pass-heavy they are. So they at least are putting the ball in Justin Herbert's hands, which last year, the coaching staff, Shane Steichen was on. They were running the ball on 1st and 2nd down to a very frustrating degree. And so they're not doing that. But, you're right to a degree. I just don't think – I think offensive coaches, it seems like they're struggling with finding ways to attack downfield and scheme up the explosive plays they need when teams are playing this kind of coverage.
This is going to be a tough matchup for the Eagles secondary, right? If the team they saw last week, the Lions, really didn't challenge them at wide receiver, the Chargers very much will. I mean, Keenan Allen, Nick Sirianni takes a lot of pride in like Keenan Allen's development. Is very, very high on Keenan Allen. And then Mike Williams, I just did a chat on The Athletic, and someone said, if the Eagles sign a wide receiver this offseason, who should they go after? I don't know what kind of money they would, I don't know how much money they would spend. I can't imagine them spending a big draft pick on a receiver again. But this is a good, I can't wait for Sheil's free agent rankings, which usually come out.
I got to get on that. Yeah.
But this is when you look at like Mike Williams is going to be a free agent, Cortland Sutton.
Save that bad boy for Prime Day, Sheil.
Oh yeah. For Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
I didn't think
I mean, obviously the top free agent wide receivers are Devontae Adams and Chris Godwin, assuming the Eagles aren't in the mix for those types of players. Mike Williams and Cortland Sutton are two kind of big-bodied, physical wide receivers that could complement what the Eagles have, and Mike Williams has just been outstanding this year. So the Eagles DBs are in for a tough challenge against those guys.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's awesome. I'm with you. And Mike Williams is their big play threat. So those two guys are going to be tough to handle. So when you talk about switching things up, I don't know, can the Eagles corners match up to those guys in man coverage? That certainly would be a pretty big challenge for them for sure. Austin Eckler, all-purpose back. One of the interceptions last week bounced off of his hands into the hands of a Patriots defender, but certainly he's tough to handle. Jared Cook, I don't know if you guys watched the other interception. I mean, he looked like he was asleep. I don't know what it's like. I mean, he looked like he was walking into his route, and Justin Herbert fires the ball out there, and it goes right to a Patriots defender. And this key play in the second half, I did not see an interview with Jared Cook about what he was doing on that play, if he was tired or injured or what, but it was a really strange looking interception. It seems like Jared Cook has some of those plays. Of course, last year in the playoffs, he had the big fumble as well. But, normally Jared Cook is at least a formidable veteran tight end.
So when I was looking through the Chargers a bit, did not watch them nearly as much as Sheil did. But what jumped out to me when you talk about the tight ends is, with Tyree Jackson on the Eagles, you keep hearing, well, like if he can become Logan Thomas, right? That was what the Eagles want. Well,
or Logan Roy.
I'm in on that. Yeah.
If I watch the Chargers, like if
it's
he
the
can
one
become,
thing about Tyree Jackson that would get me excited.
If he can become Donald Parham, right? Donald Parham's
little
like
Parham.
Yeah.
Is it Parham?
Wow.
I'm sorry, I said Parham.
That's
Parham.
Right.
He's been
Parham.
He's been a red zone threat for them, right? They go to him down there, and he's got that 6'8", 250-pound build. That would be the if Tyree Jackson can become that for you, then that would be a fine outcome for the Eagles.
I'm with you. Lower the bar. Yeah. Let's lower that Tyree Jackson bar.
I mean, I think we raised the bar to Logan Roy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right side of the offensive line trouble sounds like good news for Zach's Josh Sweat bet. But
yeah, Josh Sweat has really, I mean, Zach really, if Zach were Bo, he would be gloating much more about Josh Sweat. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I thought he played really well. And last week, I mean, what a monster.
Like you've been there before, right?
This is a pile up sack game.
Hand the ball back to the ref and run back to the huddle. You've been there before. You'll be there again.
I would disagree. I would say get a little taunt in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this Chargers defense? 12th overall in DVOA, and as we talked about, so tilted towards stopping the pass. They are 4th in pass defense DVOA, dead last against the run, and also like their counting stats against the run are terrible as well. So that's the way they want to play. That's the way they do play.
I wanted to, sorry, I should have said this before. Just a couple notes on the Eagles defense,
Sure.
since I did get to watch the film from the last pod. I thought TJ Edwards, I thought this was the best game by an Eagles linebacker all season. I know that, again, that's not a high bar, but he was fantastic in this game, not just against the run. He's sniffing out screens for tackles for loss. And, in coverage, there are going to be issues. But if you're playing a lot of zone, like at least he's smart and knows where he's supposed to be. So did he play he was just like a full-time player, right? I didn't look at the
He's
snap
not 100%, but he played the most
they were
snaps.
seating. Yeah. So I think that's the right move. Josh Sweat, we talked about. Marcus Epps, I thought had some moments.
I like a Marcus Epps
in that game. Competent, low ceiling kind of guy. Yeah. Like a third safety type of guy. And I think you guys mentioned in the post-game bod, that would be something. Milton Williams. Right. I thought certainly had a nice game as well. So those were my defense notes. Now, in terms of scheme, they played their highest percentage of man coverage in a game this season.
Yep.
They played their most snaps of single high coverage this season. And it was their highest blitz. Again, I think you probably
How do you get
already
the single high?
mentioned
Is that on True Media?
I can show you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in there. It might not be up there right after the game, but
Okay.
in the middle of the week, you can get it. So those were some shifts to stuff they hadn't done before, and we'll see what they do in this game. All right, Chargers defense. Okay. Not a great defense. It's sort of like they've got two great players in Joey Bosa and Derwin James, and then they've got a bunch of guys there. So the approach, as we know, is to certainly play a good amount. Prevent explosive plays. But if you look at the numbers, it's pretty interesting. They're middle of the pack in terms of man versus zone. They played more single high coverage than I thought they would have played. Their two most popular coverages, I think, have been cover 3, a 3 deep zone, and cover 1 man coverage with the single high safety. So they've definitely mixed it up way more. That's why when we look at the Eagles defense compared to some of the defense that are trying to play this way, like the Chargers just don't sit back and do that every game, regardless of opponent, every snap, regardless of situation. They mix stuff up a lot more, and they use more pre-snap disguise. But the philosophy is to start in that too high shell and then either stay in it or rotate into something else. So that's kind of the basis of their defense. They're mediocre in terms of pass rush. Like I said, Joey Bosa's good. Their other guys have not exactly torn it up. Linval Joseph, I mean, that was a throwback. I remember my first stint covering the Eagles, and Jason Kelsey's going like, you guys don't understand how good Linval Joseph is with these Giants teams, man. He gives me a hard time every time.
I covered him with the Giants.
What's that?
I covered him with the Giants. He was the second round pick.
How long has this guy been in the league? Like 20 years?
The year they took Jason Pierre-Paul. Linval Joseph was the second round pick. And yeah, this was my first year on an NFL beat, and I'm trying to get to know everyone in the locker room, and I do my thing where I make my rounds, and talk to everyone or say hello to everyone on the team during the week. And Linval was always polite in terms of saying hello back. So I appreciated that from Linval.
The other thing I liked about Linval Joseph is that no matter what happened,
98,
game,
right?
Win or loss, no matter how he played, he was always there at his locker that week to talk about it and answer for it, whether it was good or bad. That's what I like to. It's very classy.
Well, the Giants are a classy organization, but Linval, I mean, I don't think there was great demand for Linval that year, to be honest with you. They had like Chris
from you. You're probably peppering him. He's like, dude.
I mean, they had Chris Canty on that team. They had, Linval was a nice guy.
You were referring to Eli, right, Bo?
Yes.
I mean, my opinion of Eli has just, a total 180.
This is what I always said.
Retired to now. I mean, and it's not
just not what you always said.
He's not just entertaining on these Manning casts. Like his analysis, I mean, there are times where I feel like his analysis is better than Peyton's analysis on this. Like he's explaining to me what's happening in a more clear, concise, entertaining way. And as we saw, the viewers are asking you to get into Aaron Rodgers at some point, Bo. But as we've seen, I mean, every quarterback is a weirdo. Like none of them can just be normal human beings. And of course, I don't know if Eli is or if he isn't, but he hasn't done anything to sort of
close to. Yeah.
He seems close to it. I mean, obviously he grows up and his dad's an NFL quarterback. So there are different things there, but he doesn't, he doesn't seem like a jerk. He seems like people generally seem to like him. He can laugh at himself. He can flip the double bird and think that the TV cameras could just erase that. I found that to be very endearing. So I don't know. I think I'm in on Eli now. What a great career move for him doing the Manning cast.
Well, so Bo focuses on like the one sentence that I said about him with the media and not what I've said about him overall, which was like beloved by teammates. I think that was the point that I made. Was that people have this image of him based on like memes on Twitter, right? Or gifs
makes
on
funny
Twitter.
Faces for sure.
But as a person, I said like his teammates loved him. And that's what jumped out to me is like behind the scenes, how much respect people had for him, and not just respect, like how much they liked him. And I remember during the lockout going to those practices at Hoboken High School, right? Because they couldn't go to the Giants facility. What? And so seeing the guys come together for that. But that was the point I made more so than him standing by his locker. That doesn't make him a good, like a good guy or anything. That just helps the media out. That's all.
Well, you care about that stuff too.
Eagles. What did Jalen Hurts say about under center? I mean,
he didn't say anything about it. He didn't say anything.
He just didn't want to answer it.
He bristled.
Well, he said, "What do you think about it?" And then Jeff McLean asked the question.
Jeff asked, like, what has under center done for the offense the past couple weeks? And
what an innocent question.
You tell me, what has it done?
Jeez.
And then he wouldn't even answer the next question because he was like, sorry,
he was thrown off.
I'm still thrown off by the last question.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. Weird. Yeah.
Well,
what do you think that's about, Zach?
I think and I don't know this. Like, I haven't spoken to Jalen about this, but I think Jalen kind of goes in with a game plan for every, for what he wants to say for everything. Like, he generally has an idea of what's going to come. He probably didn't know that one was going to come, and he didn't have an answer ready. And so if he doesn't have an answer ready, he doesn't give it to you. He doesn't strike me as someone who gets up there and just like speaks off the cuff, right? Like, this is your question. This is my answer. Next question. It's more like he's thinking how he wants to answer it.
That's weird. Yeah, it's a weird one to sort of get upset at. I was looking at the numbers. They had 17 rushes for 101 yards, designed runs under center last week. They hadn't had more than 37 yards, rushing yards under center in a game all season. They had 76 total in their first 7 games. again, I'm not an old school, you got to go under center guy, but I do feel like a very simple thing to do with this offense is to incorporate under center runs and then play action off of it. I mean, that was kind of like the foundation of what they did last week. The run game worked. I think he was 3 for 3 on those play action throws from under center for 51 yards. And so that's kind of the offense. It's, run game, play action, mix in some RPOs, throw some screens in there, and then it's Jalen Hurts scrambling. He has the highest EPA on scrambles of any quarterback in the NFL this season, for better or worse, because there are absolutely times where you're like, oh my, where are you going, man? The protection is outstanding. The wide receivers haven't even finished their routes yet. Why are you bailing out of there? So no inconsistencies, really. I mean, no consistencies with the pass game. I don't think that changed last week, as you guys discussed, 9 completions. But I feel like the other things I mentioned, those are the things that have to be sort of the foundation of the offense. And Zach feels like he's got some snark or something coming at me.
No, not snark. Just something I was thinking about.
Never snarky.
How much football has advanced in 13 years, right? I've been reading, and it's been outstanding. I recommended to our viewers and our listeners Seth Wickersham's book, It's Better to Be Feared. And the section on the 2008 season, right? How Tom Brady was going to set the world on fire in 2008 when they got Randy Moss. And a big change they made was they were going to go in the shotgun so he can see the field and now everyone's in shotgun. It's a big change when you go under center. But yeah, I mean, in 2008, that was a big deal when you were going shotgun every play, basically. So that's just an example of how much things have changed in 13 years.
I was thinking about in 2013, that was Chip's first year, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I remember asking him about an RPO after a preseason game, and he was real, and I was just basically going off Smart Football's blog. He was calling them package plays at the time, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And it sort of looked like to me there was one play where it could have either been a handoff or a throw, and he just kind of poo-pooed it, but then I checked with football people who know, and they were like, yeah, that's what it was. And I was just thinking, that wasn't that long ago. And now it's just like I said, football, I feel like analysis has gotten a lot harder now, where, I thought I was doing a great job there uncovering an RPO. And now it's at this whole other level of film grinders.
Now you can find the RPO stats.
That's nice too. That was the other thing. When I was at Philly.com, I would have a spreadsheet charting the snaps every play. That would be my Monday, because you couldn't even get snap counts anywhere. And I remember I emailed Mike Reese, who was working for the Boston Globe at the time, and he had a blog called Reese's Pieces, and I would check it out every week, and he would have, all right, this is how much they used 11 personnel, this is how much each guy played. And so I emailed him, having never met him before, and I'm like, oh, this is great. Where do you get this stuff? And he's like, I do that. I do that myself every Monday. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I got to do that myself every Monday as well.
And look at you both now.
Well, I wouldn't put myself on his level.
Well, he's not a national writer.
He's a senior writer, I assume.
I think he easily could be if that was what he wanted to do.
Zach, your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers?
My thoughts on Aaron Rodgers.
Yes. Let's get it out there.
Look, Can
we get to this after the break?
Yeah. Let's get to this after the break.
You can think about it, how safe you want to be.
Then we'll do Swooper and Aaron Rodgers after the break.
Okay.
Let me tell you about Simply Safe. If you have ever wanted to make your home feel safer, there is no better time than now. Who doesn't want to make their home feel safer? This week, our friends at Simply Safe are giving Birds with Friends listeners 40% off their award-winning home security. We love Simply Safe because it has everything you need to make your home safe. Indoor and outdoor cameras, comprehensive sensors, all monitored around the clock by trained professionals who send help the instant you need it. And let's hope we don't need it, but just in case you do, they have around-the-clock trained professionals. Simply Safe was even named Best Home Security System of 2021 by U.S. News and World Report. You can easily customize a system for your home online in minutes and even get free custom recommendations from Simply Safe. That's right, free custom recommendations from Simply Safe. These are Simply Safe's biggest discounts of the year. Don't sit there saying, oh, I'll wait until after the new year. No, this is the biggest discount of the year. You can get a complete home security system starting at just over $100. There are no long-term contracts or commitments. It's a really easy way to start feeling a bit more peace of mind. Take advantage of SimpliSafe's holiday sale and get 40% off your new home security system by visiting simplisafe.com/athletic. Again, that's simplisafe.com/athletic for 40% off your entire system. Hurry, because this offer ends soon.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Check out betterhelp.com/theathletic. The best way to think about therapy is through a bunch of analogies. We get our cars tuned up to prevent bigger issues down the road. You saw that one coming. We get annual checkups and go to the gym to maintain physical wellness and prevent injury and disease. We do chores regularly, some of us, maybe not Bo, to avoid a giant mess of a house. Going to therapy is like all of these. It's routine maintenance for your mental and emotional wellness to prevent bigger issues down the road. Going to therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you're investing in yourself to keep your mind healthy. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Why invest in everything else and not your mind? This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp and Birds with Friends listeners. Get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/theathletic. That's betterhelp.com/theathletic.
All right, Zach, you're on the hook.
I mean, I don't know why my
Aaron
opinion
Rodgers
is like,
and immunization. Where do you stand? Should he be suspended? Should he be put in jail?
no, he shouldn't be put in jail. I mean, just I don't know about suspended either. I mean, first off, for his safety and for the safety of those around him, I think I would like him to be vaccinated, right? I think he should be vaccinated. But he was clearly. He was clearly being misleading, right? Now he was very careful with his words. But
he was lying
more so than what he said publicly, right? To the people around him every day, that's the most important thing, right? Yeah. Did, the extent of what they knew, the interactions there, overall. And I will also say, like, I hope he's healthy, like, right. Because there's such a, I feel like everyone's trying to get on you for the mechanics of it. He still has an illness here, right? And he's unvaccinated. Like, I hope he recovers quickly and well and doesn't experience major symptoms, right? Like, that shouldn't be lost in this either. But no, I do think you have a responsibility to those around you every day. And as we're seeing, you have a responsibility, in my opinion, to your football team. Right, that he's going to miss 2 games here, at least 2 games. I
think he's eligible to come back the day before their next game.
So,
probably will play though.
So that's that's a big deal when you are the quarterback of a football team, as important as he is. Like, that's a big deal. You miss games because of something that is within your control, right? That had he been vaccinated, the return to work protocol would be different, as we've seen with players on the Eagles who have had COVID. So I think that there's like the moral non-football perspective, but for our purposes, like from a football perspective, I think there is a degree of irresponsibility that. And that can be extended to, I've said this about Kirk Cousins. I've said this about Carson Wentz. I understand everyone has the right to make a personal choice, but I also acknowledge that when you have that type of job, and you're around these people every day for their health and safety and for the importance of your job, like, there are consequences to your decision, and he is experiencing right now, and his team and the Packers, the organization, are experiencing the consequences of his decision as well.
I can't believe
that's not going to get me in trouble. Anything I said there, right? I just want to. Okay,
No.
all right.
I mean, I think he should be put in jail, but I can't believe the level.
I did not expect to go there today. So.
The amount of privilege it takes for him to lie about it and then just go about his business as if it's not a big deal, like not following the protocols. And they say that like he was masked sometimes in the building, but like on the sidelines when other guys are masked, he was not. And he's like petitioning for this to count as him being vaccinated. It's so insane for him to think that that's okay. I mean, well, the guy is dead to me. And I think
dead to you,
dead to me. Yeah. And I do think that I used to love Aaron Rodgers. He's like I've never enjoyed watching a quarterback more than Aaron Rodgers, but he's like, I mean,
I don't want to be like self-righteous here, right? Like I think
but it's not about self-righteous. It's about, you have a responsibility to the community. And I do think that the league has to do something. Like, I think they're going to be probably less about like him being suspended and more about like they get docked a draft pick or some huge fines or something. But I think they do have to send some kind of message. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
It's worse than Kirk Cousins and Carson Wentz because they made the decision.
Yeah,
and I know them. I thought it was ridiculous.
I want to make the decision to stay away from them.
Right. I crushed them for it. I think they should be vaccinated, but at the same time, if you're working for a company, which they are for the NFL, there are rules in place that if this is your decision, these are the rules you have to adhere by, and they did that. And so I disagree with their decision. I think it's ridiculous, but they at least did that. He couldn't even be bothered to do that. He didn't want it to be out there publicly that this was the decision he made. He asked the league for this exemption, that he went to whatever, Canada with his personal, and they said no. And he still comes back and says he's fine. And then he doesn't adhere to the rules. And now a guy who just put his entire franchise like through the ringer the entire offseason trying to orchestrate a trade to get out of town. And by the way, after other teammates came back to play on the team thinking they had a chance to win a Super Bowl. So after he does that, then he comes back and your team's 7-1. Well positioned to be in the Super Bowl in the NFC. And now you're going to miss at least one game, maybe 2 games, maybe more games. I mean, if they suspend him, they're totally within their right to suspend him, to dock the team draft picks, to make an example out of this. Completely irresponsible. If you're other people, I mean, it's not just other teammates. It's irresponsible for your other teammates. There are people in the building, cafeteria workers, maintenance staff, trainers, equipment managers, and you're not being honest about, your status. And so it's completely ridiculous. It's worse than what, like I said, it's worse than what Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz, whoever. It reiterates that no quarterback is normal. They all are, weirdos. In the great quarterbacks, I will say, are not normal. They're all weirdos in one way or the other. This is somebody who I feel like, part of his image is being the smartest guy in the room, which, there are times you watch him and you think, all right, yeah, he does seem really smart, whether it's football smart or whatever he's trying to have for Jeopardy. And then this is like a completely ridiculous, non-evidence-based decision that he makes. People are pointing out that maybe Justin Herbert is normal. He does seem normal.
Yeah, I was going to ask, would you rather see Justin Herbert get to like a Hall of Fame level and become a crazy weirdo, or would you rather protect his normalness and he's just a solid quarterback?
No, because I can find a solid normal quarterback anyway, and he's got upside that makes me very excited. So it'll
be interesting to see the ways in which he becomes insane.
No, but
I hope he never does anything like this. But if he wants to be like, they're different, but there are flex. I did my WIP hit and kind of made the point. Every quarterback's weird. Like Russell Wilson is really weird, right? He's corny. He puts out these weird videos, but that's like a harmless weird, So there's like that type of weird, and then this is just a totally other level. So anyway.
Yeah, we are on a quad box here with someone who is engaged to a football player, right, or to an NFL player, right?
Sheil, so congratulations.
Thank you. I was going to save it for the end, but
my point being that it affects those in your workplace, like Sheil mentioned. The cafeteria workers, the trainers, right? It's also the people who are around those people every day, including someone who lives with and is getting married to a play, you're in the locker room, you're in this community with people. There's a degree of vigilance that one needs to take, and that people around you have the option of taking if they know you are, unvaccinated, right? So, so I look at it more from like that perspective, the responsibility within, the community that you keep.
Yeah.
All
right. Speaking of a-holes, let's address the turkey situation here. Me being the a-hole.
Zach, I hope you have some. I hope you've done your research. This
okay. So Zach, you have 13 turkeys left over. Now you thought it was like 2 or 3 or 4, or whatever.
I thought it was 4.
You thought it was 4. It's 13. So you have 13 turkeys. You will have
not even
37.
Like 1 or 2. I mean, that's turkeys. 9 turkey difference. Unbelievable.
So you'll have 37. I have 16, so I will have 40. Sheil, you have 2 turkeys left over, so you have that. 26.
Okay.
All right. I want all the live listeners to get out their calculators so we have no controversies later because I'm very bad at mental math.
That's okay. I'll beat him on his own game. So.
Oh.
All right.
Now, Sheil has a 2.5 game lead, 2.5 point lead.
Yeah. Do you want me to just retire? You guys can like play it out the rest of the year. I could sign off, go to the bathroom. Okay. No.
18-week season. So we'll be doing these.
I don't know. We're doing a bye week one?
No, it's an 18-week season, 17-game, 18-week season. So there's a long way to go.
It's a semantic difference,
all right,
I think.
We
don't play for 18 weeks. Okay.
Really? I don't care at all. Let's go.
All right. Well, let's start out this week with Jalen Hurts has more passing yards than Justin Herbert.
2.
3.
4.
5.
Do I hear 6?
They could be playing from behind, right?
Yeah, it could be. No, I'm not going to go 6.
It all went downhill for Patrick Mahomes once this was
that's true.
In the chat.
Yeah.
I'll go 6.
Everything changed.
Oh, I like it. Aggressive ZB is back, baby.
6.
Those extra turkeys in his pocket.
Do I hear 7?
I'll go 7.
You can have it.
Sheil, nothing?
No.
All right. Sold to Bo for 7. Okay. Next up, Nick Sirianni wins a challenge. And
2.
I did not spell it like this.
No problem.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I like it.
2.
A challenge.
Challenge.
A challenge. 3.
Wins the challenge, eh? 4.
This would be Bo.
Now, this means he has to throw it and win it, not just Staley throws one and loses it.
Right.
And just clarifying.
Totally necessary at this point, I would say.
So Sheil's at 4.
I'll say 5.
Bo, just to confirm, I got those turkeys from last week.
Correct.
They didn't go to you. Okay. Just want to make sure because that's your.
That would be some really twisted stuff.
Outstanding. No, I have no interest.
All right, you can get it at 5.
I mean, I have no interest is my standing tagline, but I meant in terms of that bet.
All right. Sold. Number 3.
I have 28 left.
Pronouncing this correctly. Herb Adderley is mentioned
well done.
on the broadcast.
Yeah, Pride of Northeast High School, who's Nazir Adderley, starting safety for the Chargers. He went to Delaware from the area. So
now they can't just say Nazir's grandfather or whatever played for the Eagles. They have to say Herb.
Well, Herb Adderley didn't play for the Eagles.
Whatever it is.
But
whatever you're going for here.
How'd you know this was Zach's?
I mean, come on.
You might as well put a Sua thing and guess it was me.
But no, he could say Nazir Adderley, the nephew, I think it's Charles Davis still in the game. Like his grandfather's brother is NFL Hall of Famer or Pro Football Hall of Famer Herb Adderley.
But they have to say Herb. They can't just allude to him. They have to say Herb.
Yes, they
Yeah,
have to
I
say
mean, I
Herb.
don't think that's going to really come down. It would sort of be weird to reference this and not say the guy's name. So, yeah, let's just make a decision. I think they would say Herb if they were going to reference him.
Yes.
So, yes, they say Herb Adderley.
Now
they
Sheil
say
does
Herb.
not. Now Sheil does not care much for the local angles. We established that. Does the local angle that involves a Pro Football Hall of Famer matter? Like the Adderley name
Fine.
carries a lot of weight in
Yeah.
Philadelphia football circles.
Yeah, I like the North. I've been to the Great Northeast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will go 1.
2.
I thought I did it at 1. Okay. 3. I'm gonna have to text Charles Davis and be like, "Can you just mention?"
I'm
Oh,
worried
look
about
at that
I'm worried
flex.
about- I'm worried about
He's
this.
got the Charles Davis digits. He's putting it out there nonchalantly. I'll go 4.
And I will be relying on the sickos for this one as well. So tweet at me
Yep.
once his name is dropped. If it is dropped. Do I hear 5? ZBerm.
5.
Out.
Okay.
Sold.
You got it.
All right.
You've got
An
32
Eagle.
left, Zach.
An Eagle catches his first pass of the season.
2.
3.
You got candidates for me for this or no?
JJ Arthego-Whiteside yet to be targeted. Jack Stoll doesn't have a catch yet. Although, did he get one late in that game?
I don't
No, he
believe
didn't.
so, but Tyree Jackson could be promoted. He could be elevated, or not.
Jordan
elevated. He could
Howard
come
doesn't
up.
have a catch.
Ooh, that's a good one.
4.
5.
Do I hear 6?
6.
Maybe JJ down. Maybe John Hightower's up.
Hightower still on the team?
He's on the practice squad.
Oh, wow. Good for him.
They have injuries at wide receiver. Rager might be down, but I don't know if those guys get in.
All right,
Going
Marissa.
once?
Yeah.
Going twice. Sold to Bo for 6. 6,
is that what I
correct?
got for?
I think it was 6, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm
think
very
so.
nervous with my numbers.
I think
now.
so. If we're
After
wrong,
last
let us
week's
know in the chat.
controversy. Yeah.
Oh, Stoll did get a catch against the Lions. Damn.
Too late, my friend.
Yeah. It's a bad job by me.
Yeah.
Up at 7 on that.
Oh, it's sold already. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
I need a gavel. Okay. Kenny Gainwell leads all Eagles running backs in total yards.
2.
All running backs in total yards.
Oh,
from
Eagles
scrimmage.
running backs.
All Eagles running backs. 3.
Correct. Yeah.
4.
5.
6.
Random Frank, you sicko. Think Stoll had an 8-yarder.
It was a 9-yarder, actually.
You guys really are. Oh, well, still. I still think you're sicko, Random Frank.
Yeah.
All right.
7.
7? No thanks. I'm out.
Bo? Going once.
You got it.
Sold to Zach.
So you're a big Bosco guy this week, huh?
Who are you talking to?
Both you guys.
I've always been
no,
a big
I'm
Bosco
not.
guy.
I'm just sort of disinterested.
You've got 25 left, Zach. I've got 22. Sheila has 26.
How many more do we
Okay.
have?
8. No, 7. 7.
Yeah.
Really? Oh.
Yep. 7. All right.
Okay.
Dallas Goedert sets a season high for receiving yards.
Well, I feel like we have this one every week.
Yeah.
I figured I would just do this every week. I had nothing. I sent them to Marissa about 15 minutes ago. I said, if there are better ones in the chat, just go ahead and use those.
So he had 72 yards last week. The week before that, he had 70.
All right.
So-
2,
3.
4, 5,
6.
7.
Going once.
Wow, Eric Wilson got claimed.
Oh, their plan worked.
Wow. I'm shocked. Good for them.
Bye.
The Texans.
The team that needs a linebacker on a 1-year deal.
Isn't that insane?
Why are they claiming anybody?
Doesn't make any sense.
my gosh. I did not think you were going to say the Texans. That's outstanding.
Yeah, that's somebody points out poor Eric Wilson. I mean, that is insane. What are they doing?
All right. We go. What do I have
think
it
we
at?
were at 7.
7.
correct?
I have
think
7 for
Sheil has it
Goddard.
at 7, yeah.
Are you guys bidding or not?
I'm out on 7.
Zach?
Sorry, you can have it at 7.
All right.
Okay. A player unsuccessfully tries to down a punt inside the 5-yard line.
So he goes into the end zone, basically.
Yeah, now he doesn't have to
Define
touch
that.
it. He doesn't have to touch it, but he has to try to down it and is unsuccessful. So he could like be in position and it bounces away from him and he doesn't get it. You'll know it when you see it.
All right. Marissa is the judge of this because there's clearly going to be controversy.
Yeah. Who wants to
Tries
start
the
down
bidding?
a punt inside the 5. I mean, talk about vague. 2.
I mean, this is going to be fun to root for. I got to go 3.
We have different definitions of fun.
That's been made abundantly clear.
4. What is
Zach's
Zach
too
doing
busy
right now?
tweeting about Eric Wilson.
Oh.
Do I hear 5? Zach, don't miss out on swoopers for Eric Wilson.
Zach, it's a tweet. Calm down.
I'm sorry. I had someone important calling me there. I had.
Oh.
Ooh,
Go. Take it.
No, it's okay.
We can
Okay.
skip
Yeah,
that.
I'll play for you,
If
Zach.
you need to
No,
go,
it's okay.
go.
It's okay.
All
It's
right, all right, let's
it's
wrap
okay.
it up.
It was,
Come on. CB's
No,
got
it's
something
fine.
good
It's-
coming.
No. It's
Zach, I
like-
can bid for you.
It's clarification on the Eric Wilson thing. I'm getting, but okay. I'm not.
So is Eric
I'm
Wilson.
not bidding on this one.
Okay.
All right, you got it. So you got it for 5, Sheil. Is that right?
Yeah. Okay. The Eagles will set a season high for rushing yards in a game.
Well, they're not beating last week.
1.
This was
What was
also
it?
a Shield
240
submission.
What was it? I forgot that. What did they have? 246 last week? Commenter Mikey Mitz, for those listening, put a comment in there that for Zach that is just my kid's doctor. No big deal. I'm good.
My kid's
We're
doctor's
super.
not calling me, so
All right, so do I have this?
Yeah, I don't want it. Yeah. go ahead.
Wow. Cheap. Okay. The Eagles have more total touchdowns scored than Devontae Smith receptions.
1.
2.
2.
It was
I
very
feel like
timid
that was a
too.
timid-
Zach.
Yeah.
Zach
He's
is
too
very
distracted by Eric
distracted.
Wilson calling him.
Yeah.
I'm out. I don't want
It's
this.
not. It's not Eric Wilson calling me. I promise you that.
Do
Anyone?
I hear
I'm
3,
out.
Zach?
Is it Jeffrey?
It's not Jeffrey calling me either. I mean, 3.
I'll say 4.
Oh,
Bo wants 4.
do I
All
hear
right.
5?
Zach?
No, you can have it at 4.
All right.
Okay. The Eagles win the toss and elect to receive.
You see, the elect to receive part is hard here, right? I would have liked if it was
1.
2.
3.
I don't think they're going to want the ball. I think they'll defer if they win.
So are you out?
Oh, jeez. Sorry, Rich.
Thank you.
Wants to
No,
wrap
thank you,
somewhere.
Marissa. Yes.
Sorry.
Zach. I'll
No.
give you wanna go
Absolutely
4?
warranted.
4.
There's no more analysis that's going
Actually,
to solve this.
No.
for me.
You can have
4.
it for 3, Sheil. You can have
Oh,
it for
I
3.
don't know.
Okay.
Zach, come on. You're
Yeah, I feel like
creating
touch move there.
controversy.
All right, fine.
No,
I
he
it.
said no.
Four.
He said no. He
4.
said
Okay.
no. He backed
4.
out before it was official.
All right. Sold.
Okay.
sold to Shiel.
Unbelievable.
So the Sheil
Oh
for
my
3.
gosh.
Okay.
You know this
Wait,
one's
so
gonna
I get
happen
it?
now. Yeah.
Yeah, you get it.
Oh, okay.
This is definitely going to spark some sort of
I forgot to
controversy
tell you
right
guys,
at the game start
I'm
time.
writing a column for tomorrow about how Sirianni's been too afraid to, not enough of an alpha to receive when he wins the toss this year. So it'll be on The Athletic tomorrow.
All right, 2 more.
2 left, right?
Jalen Hurts attempts less than 27 passes.
It should be fewer.
3.
So
Fewer than.
this whole thing may
3.
be 4.
I forget who submitted this one.
5.
Oh, this was a chat submission.
6.
So Bo's correcting their grammar right now. Huh? 7.
Do I hear 8?
No, not for me. Is Bo frozen?
Oh, 8. 8.
Oh,
Your video is frozen, but you. Yep,
we can
okay,
hear
you're
you.
back.
All right.
9.
Bo wants 8. Ooh.
10.
9.
How many turkeys do you have left over there?
17.
Ooh,
Sounds unlikely.
How many more do we have after this?
1.
1.
Thank God.
11.
12.
Or, wait, no. 13.
Wow. Do I hear 14, Bo?
He's frozen. Just give it to me.
14. 14.
14. He says
Oh my
14.
gosh, we can hear him, but he's frozen.
Zach?
15.
17.
Wow.
17.
17 on this garbanzo beans one? Wow.
You know what? Longest view in the room still. You can have it for 17.
Good job, Zach. Drove him
Wow.
out.
Yeah.
Well
That
done.
15. Okay. I think that might be up there with, we'll have to check with Dennis. That was up there with the Mahomes one too. Okay. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams will combine for 15 catches or more.
3.
A lot of catches. 4. Will
5.
Bo still have 20
Bo's
left?
out.
I can't bid.
Bo's out.
Bo took my turkeys, I figured. So
6.
7.
8.
9.
I think do I have 11 left?
11 left.
11. 11 is my bet.
I need to have a ball in this game, so give me 12.
Oh.
Wow. All right. Aggressive
Right.
ZBerm.
Well, I just need something. I mean, I can't have all Herb Adderley here. And, yeah.
Slide a nickel for you every time.
All right.
All right.
All right. Just follow Dennis if you want to see what the
Yeah.
rundown is there. I've got a lot.
Good job. I agree.
Zach's got her battery. All right. Crystal Ball Diggle predictions. Sheil, you're the Chargers expert. How do you see this bad boy playing out?
Well, they've been an uneven team. Their offense is 31st in success rate, but 7th in EPA per drive. So that tells you that they've hit on big plays. They've some high leverage situations they've come through, but they've been one of the least consistent offenses on a snap to snap basis. That's making Bo yawn. He's very bored with that stat. So I'm a little nervous about this game, but I'm not gonna, I've been a big Justin Herbert guy since he started playing last year. I feel like he should carve up this defense. I'm a little nervous about his hand, and of course, a little nervous about their offensive line, but I still do believe in him. And so I think it could be like a competitive game, but I've got the Chargers. I've got the Chargers covering 27-23.
So you hit the over-under on the money. I believe it's 50,
Oh,
right?
is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah. So I look at this game similar to Sheil. The Chargers are the more talented team. They have the better quarterback. They have the better skill players. They have more top-end talent on defense. But I think if the Eagles win this game, it's going to be because of one of two things happens. Either Justin Herbert is significantly limited by the injury, or the Eagles' defensive line just dominates the line of scrimmage and makes life miserable for Herbert. That more than anything the Eagles do on offense. I know we talk about the running game, we talk about Hurts. It's going to come down to, can the Eagles' defensive line dominate at the line of scrimmage? If they can do that, the Eagles can be in this game. Ultimately, I'm going with the better team and the better quarterback. So give me the Chargers. I also have them covering. And I have this right around the over-under. I will go with 28-23 Chargers.
I'm afraid my internet's going to cut out, so I'll try to keep it short. I think it's a winnable game for the Eagles, but I'm not going to pick them. for the reasons that you guys have said. I think the Eagles probably will try to run the ball and control the ball a little bit more against this Chargers defense that invites them to do so. But I'm just betting on Justin Herbert having a bounce-back game, even though he may have been spending too much time watching Belichick and Saban documentaries. Give me the Eagles losing to the Chargers 28-21. And that'll do it for this episode of Birds with Friends. We'll be back late night Sunday for a post-game pod. It's a 4 o'clock game, not a 1 o'clock game. Bad news from Marissa. So stay tuned for that. And make sure that you check out our new video on YouTube on the Athletics page. Not ZB and the Wulf, a different video focusing on Sheil's superlatives. He tells you who he thinks has the handsomest face in the league. So, for Sheil, Zach, and Marissa, I'm Bo. Thanks for listening. The answer, of course, Michael Dunn. And as always, we love you.